Out here in the garden on this beautiful day, I thought it could be a good opportunity to talk about a few of my favourite garden tools.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tools that we're very familiar with, but the ones I'm going to show you are probably a little less common.
Yeah.
Not the normal, just the spade and the fork, garden fork, etc. For a long time, this was my favourite hand tool. It's a little mini chipping hoe, really good for cleaning up in a garden bed for close work. But Daniel, but it's been overtaken by another tool that I've come across recently, and it's this one. It's a Korean hand tool. I believe it's called a Homi, but handmade tool, really useful, and I'll show you a few of the ways you can utilise this. You can use it in so many different ways. Just general loosening the ground and weeding like this, it's really good, and it'll fit nicely between plants so that you can slide in there, and just using the action like a plough sliding under the soil helps you loosen up and get the weeds out. The other thing that you can do with it is when you do want to plant seeds, of course, you can actually run a nice little furrow very easily, and then of course cover it up again. So using it like a miniature hand plough works really well. So yeah, definitely worth chasing this one up. Another of my favourites that is not as common. You can buy fork hoes, but rarely can you buy fork hoes that are as light as this, and I've certainly not seen any around recently. This one actually was my mother's, so it's quite old. A nice light fork. The handle wasn't the original. It would have had a wooden handle originally, and it's been replaced with a piece of aluminium, which is a little bit annoying because paint seems to come off and you end up getting black hands from using it, even though I keep painting it. But it's really useful in the garden. To loosen a piece of ground or to get weeds out, it's really good because quite quickly you can dig or just rake with it. Unlike a rake, which a lot of people utilise a rake which is much wider, this will get into narrower areas and isn't as hard. It won't pull as much with you, and you also have the advantage of being able to dig with the fork hoe where you need to and loosen the ground that little bit. So yeah, this is one of my favourites. Another of my favourite tools is the scythe. It's an old tool. It hasn't been in favour for a long time, but is starting to be taken up now amongst people that are interested in homesteading and that type of thing. It's useful for cutting a lot of things, while we probably are not going to go back and resort to it for mowing the lawn or cutting hay in big amounts. For cleaning up a patch like this, this has had buckwheat growing in it just as a filler, and clean it up to replant. This is a great tool, quick. Unlike the brush cutter, you don't have to start it, you don't have to put petrol in it. It's not going to make a lot of noise. A really nice tool to have, and certainly something I'd recommend as part of your garden kit. The last of my favourite tools is the wheel hoe. It's certainly not common these days. A lot more common perhaps in the past, but you can still buy them new. Hoss wheel hoes are available. This is a very old one. I really don't know exactly how old it is. Belonged to my father, and I have childhood memories of him using it gardening. It's a very easy tool to use. I've seen people try and use them on untilled soil, and they're not designed for that. They're basically designed for running rows and covering rows or hilling in tilled soil. I'll show you how it works.